Every week here on After Hours with John Phillips, we pick someone who deserves to be elevated to the level of our favorite rotten, evil, dastardly, scheming, underhanded villain from the House of Cards, Francis J. Underwood.
Everyone is fair game now, and the butchery begins.
And our winner today is a member of Congress who made a claim so outrageous and blatantly untrue that we can only applaud her breathtakingly brazen hypocrisy. While decrying the House lawsuit against President Obama, she said the following, and I quote, "A historical fact, President Bush pushed this nation into a war that had little to do with apprehending terrorists. We did not seek an impeachment of President Bush because as an executive, he had his authority. President Obama has the authority," end quote. The only problem is that back in 2008, Dennis Kucinich introduced a bill to impeach President Bush for high crimes and misdemeanors. And guess what? She was also a co-sponsor. Yes, that's right. Our winner today is Texas Representative Sheila Jackson Lee. There she is. My favorite part about Congresswoman Lee, her hair always looks like a freshly garnished bowl of fruit. Who apparently didn't know that the Library of Congress keeps records on this kind of thing. Here she is in all her glory.
I ask my colleagues to oppose this resolution, for it is, in fact, a veiled attempt for impeachment, and it undermines the law that allows a president to do his job. A historical fact that President Bush pushed this nation into a war. It had little to do with apprehending terrorists. We did not seek an impeachment of President Bush because, as an executive, he had his authority. President Obama has the authority.
And we can all learn from this, of course. For instance, if you say a historical fact right before you tell a big, whopping, bald-faced lie, people will still believe it. Congratulations, Congresswoman. I'm sure you'll get away with this because your constituents probably can't remember back to 2008 either. We all have the ability of a gnat to remember back in time. Let's go ahead and get some reaction from our After Hours panel. Leo, what do you make of this?
What bothers me is you're attacking a woman who has a short-term memory loss problem, and for you to make these accusations outrageous. I'm really upset with you.
Well, this is what makes liberalism possible, is that there is a kind of a mental defect that every month or maybe every year you get to like make it all up again and pretend. So this is kind of typical. I'm not surprised.
Historical fact. Scott Ott was once a hero in the Civil War.
You know, I think the headline for this should be, Democratic Congresswoman says Bush had the authority to go into Iraq.
All right. There you have it. For much more on all the latest and worst in the news and politics, be sure to tune into After Hours with John Phillips right here on PJTV.
Everyone is fair game now, and the butchery begins.